for you and me. Everywhere we see our soldiers.
3,600 miles to Paris.
Let me assert my firm belief that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Just whistle while you work. Somewhere over the rainbow.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Till I come marching home.
Eisenhower and his deputy commanders chart the liberation of a lost continent, plan when and where the mighty armies of the United Nations will strike.
But what about us?
We'll always have Paris. We didn't have, we lost it until you came to Casablanca.
This is the day for which free people long have waited. This is D-Day.
The news was heralding victory, and on that day the victory president died at his favorite Warm Springs. Vice President Harry S. Truman
A short time ago, an American airplane dropped one bomb on Hiroshima and destroyed its usefulness to the enemy.
I know across the street. I'm Kenneth Carroll from Arizona. Okay, boys. Goddamn war's over. What do you got to say about
This is the happiest day of my life.
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful.
I'll certainly do my very best on the field.
I'm very sure you will.
Relevant to the charge which you have publicized that I am or have been a communist.
Are you a member of the Communist Party? Or have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
It's unfortunate and tragic that I have to teach this committee the basic principles of Americanism.
That's not the question.
One of the greatest peacetime spy dramas in the nation's history reaches its climax as Julius Rosenberg and Morton Sobel, convicted of revealing atomic secrets to the Russians, enter the federal building in New York.
Let us not assassinate this lad further, Senator. You've done enough. Have you no sense of decency, sir, at long last?
What do you want me to do, draw you a diagram? Look, when you went into the bedroom, I ran over here, I opened the closet.
A kiss on the hand may be quite continental, but diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, turn me round, turn me round. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round. I'm gonna keep on walking, keep on talking.
The
got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break. That's it!
Walking through a party in the county jail.
Reasons on rock and roll music and why I preach against it, and I believe with all of my heart that it is a contributing factor to our juvenile delinquency of today.
Everybody let it rock. Everybody in old cell block was dancing to the jailhouse rock.
I think what we have to do, however, is have the president and the leadership set before our country exactly what we must do in the next decade if we're going to maintain our security.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
This government, as promised, has maintained the closest surveillance of the Soviet military buildup on the island of Cuba. Within the past week, unmistakable evidence has established the fact that a series of offensive missile sites is now in preparation on that imprisoned island.
Sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
This is Edwin Newman in the NBC newsroom in New York. This information from Dallas. 2 priests who were with President Kennedy say he is dead of bullet wounds. This is the latest information we have.
Did you kill the president?
No, I've not been charged with that.
There is the president.
There is Leon.
He's been shot. He's been shot. Lee Oswald has been shot. There's the man with a gun.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you something I think you'll understand when I say that something. I wanna hold your hand.
8, 9.
These are the stakes.
I shall not seek, and I will not accept the nomination of my party for another term as your president.
I have some very sad news for all of you, and I think sad news for all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and was killed tonight in Memphis, Tennessee.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
So?
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
Make him an offer he can't refuse.
Tennessee is fighting him. So far, Ali looks pretty impressive in round 1.
As you probably know by now, 7 persons were indicted today for trying to cover up the Watergate scandal.
Talk about a live show. Wow. Nice to see you. Welcome, and thanks for joining us live.
Some 60 Americans, including our fellow citizen whom you just saw bound and blindfolded, are now beginning their 6th day of captivity inside the U.S. Embassy in Tehran.
You believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear. Late this evening, one of the world's great entertainers and musicians, John Lennon of the Beatles, was shot outside his New York home.
Mr. President!
I love the 80s. We hope the next 10 years will be as good.
On January 24th, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Say yes to your life. And when it comes to drugs and alcohol, just say no.
We have seen drugs start before and spread across the country. Nothing with the speed that we have seen with crack.
So the 25th Space Shuttle mission is now on the way after more delays than NASA cares to count. This morning it looked as though they were not going to be able to get off. Looks like a couple of the solid rocket boosters blew away.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
I have as much experience in the Congress as Jack Kennedy did when he sought the presidency.
Senator, I served with Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy.
I want to talk to you about violence in our cities and justice for our citizens. Two big issues that have collided on the streets of Los Angeles.
I have seen what's happened in this last 4 years when, in my state, when people lose their jobs, there's a good chance I'll know them by their names.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President-elect William Jefferson Clinton.
It doesn't fit. If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
It is no longer acceptable to discuss women's rights as separate from human rights.
A massive car bomb exploded outside of a large federal building in downtown Oklahoma City.
Downtown Oklahoma City did indeed resemble Beirut after what police believe to be a 1,200-pound car bomb ripped through the 9-story federal building shortly after 9 o'clock this morning.
Jefferson County 911. Yes, I am a teacher at Columbine High School. There is a student here with a gun. He has shot out a window. I believe one. I've been Columbine High School. I don't know what's in my shoulder.
In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy 2000!
All eyes on Florida at this hour, Tim. Both campaigns made an enormous investment there. Project an important win for Vice President Al Gore.
As you can see, more than half of the vote has been counted so far, and at the moment, according to this, George W. Bush has a 5-point lead in Florida.
But this race is simply too close to call.
Good morning, America. I'm Charles Gibson.
I'm Diane Sawyer, and it's Tuesday, September 11th, 2001. September day with lots of sunshine.
We have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into
the South Tower of the World Trade Center.
This just in, you were looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center. You're talking about a large passenger commercial jet.
Passenger commercial jet.
If this was an accident, it would be a needle in a haystack kind of accident.
So, but of course the major concern is human loss.
Oh my God, another plane has just hit. Oh, another one just hit.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Just flew directly over my building.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God.
There's another one.
There is a lot of confusion here at the Pentagon.
There it goes, there it goes, there it goes, there it goes.
They seem to
On
have
my
no
orders,
problem.
coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. My fellow Americans, major combat operations in Iraq have ended.
Well, this storm surge is getting pretty intense now. The winds are picking up.
Mark, if somebody was to put the question to you about the magnitude of what you think you've launched, how big do you think your product or your service is?
Well, it's impossible to tell. When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people. Harvard didn't have a Facebook, so that's the gap that we were trying to fill. And now we're at 100,000 people, so who knows where we're going next.
What's wrong with their user interfaces? Well, the problem with them is really sort of in the bottom 40 there. It's this stuff right here. They all have these keyboards that are there whether you need them or not. So what do? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen.
If there is anyone out there who still doubts that America is a place where all things are possible, tonight is your answer.
That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda.
When you're in positions of privileged access, like a systems administrator for these sort of intelligence community agencies, you're exposed to a lot more information on a broader scale than the average employee. And because of that, you see things that may be disturbing.
A Supreme Court ruling announced minutes ago extends same-sex marriage in America. The justices ruled 5-4 that states do not have the right to outlaw same-sex unions.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Donald supported the invasion of Iraq.
Wrong.
That is absolutely
wrong.
Proved over and over again.
It's going to be a tough play. The Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.